Hi everyone, so I'm back with the second part of my Whitby double page layout. Sorry for the delay, I don't know why it's taken me so long to upload this video, but it's literally using the same sort of supplies as I did with the previous video. So I'm using this really old paper that I've had for so long, probably about 7 to 8 years, and I just liked it because it suited the sort of windy, wet weather that we had on that day. So I'm just outlining the page down the side with that dark orange washi tape that I believe is from Paper Chase. And I'm just trying to arrange the photos of how I want them. I had 4 photos left and I wanted to use them all, but obviously they weren't fitting properly in their 6x4 format. So I do actually cut one down just to make sure that obviously they fit nicely on the page. And as you can see, the weather was not great. It's very grey, but we still had a nice time. So I'm just decided on which paper I want to use to outline each photo, and I picked quite a few different patterns of that paper that came from the works, and I literally just outline each photo with a different one. But the 4th photo I didn't have enough paper, so I just had to use some of the scraps to make the backing of it. So I just had to do a bit of cutting around and yeah, to get it to fit round. But it's good because obviously I use the scraps. Sometimes, you know, you end up with loads and loads of scraps and you don't really know what to do with them, and you feel bad because you chuck them away and it's a waste of paper. So that was quite a good way to sort of get rid of some. So I just cut them down and then I get them in the position that I want them. And it's funny looking at this back at this now, because my scrapbook layout sort of process has changed, and also my sort of style of scrapbooking has changed a little bit. And hopefully you'll be able to see that in the next couple of videos that I get to do. I'm not able to actually do any layouts at the moment because I use my big table in my dining room to do my scrapbooking, but my boyfriend currently has a huge puzzle all over it, so he won't let me remove it just yet, so give me a couple of weeks, but hopefully he gets it done soon. Anyway, so I am just flicking through the Simple Stories coastal cut aparts, and I really want to use that seagull because I tried to use it last time and I couldn't find anywhere to use it, but I'm determined to use it on this page, and he fits down the bottom there. So I'm wanting to use these buntings again as I did in my last layout, and I really like the way that I've done it here, but for some reason when I actually come to stick them down, I put them in a different order, and I don't know why, but I still like it, it's fine, but I just wish I had put it in that order. So I'm just sticking the little seagull down and just putting some washi tape down. So again, I'm using the same one as last time, it's just these 2 different shades of orange. And as I said, because there's so much pattern on the paper and on the layout, I didn't want too much of a bold washi tape, so I'm happy with these sort of just simple ones. And then I get out my wood veneer box and I want to use up some more of those little Paper Mania seaside ones. I just choose 3, the 2 little boats and the, I don't know what it's called, the little steering wheel on the boat. I don't know what it's called. And then I just sort of cut down how much twine I believe I'm going to use just for that bunting. And then I decide to stick it down. So as you can see, I now decide to stick it with the smaller one first, and I don't know why. But anyway, I do still like it. But yeah, so I just put there. But also I do have that big one left over, and I put it at the bottom of the page afterwards because I don't want to chuck it. And if I put it back in the packet, it's going to be on its own because there's 3 of each design, so it would just be on its own. So I wanted to make sure I used it in this layout so it's not left over. So I stick those down, and then I stick down the twine, and it gives me a little bit of trouble first of all, but it does go down. So I just stick it down. It's quite satisfying to actually get it to stick because normally it just bounces up, and I just leave a little bit at the end because obviously I don't want to pull at it or anything whilst it's drying, so I just leave that there. And then I'm looking for some stickers. Those were from Hema, but I don't actually use those ones. I use the epoxy sort of resin ones, And then I also have these Sticko ones, and I like those because they were quite muted. I did use one little label from the Simple Stories 12 by 12 sticker sheet. It's just a little quote at the corner there, and then I go back to these stickers from Hema, and as I said, these are the epoxy sort of clear stickers, and I pick a few out. I pick the Stop Waiting for Friday, and then I do actually go back and pick some seashells out. And then from the Sticko one, I use just a little orange one that says Seaside. I just thought it was quite, like, it matched the colours quite well. So then I'm going to glue down these little wood veneers, and I put them not where they are. Basically, that little steering wheel goes up into the left-hand corner. It was just sort of a last-minute decision, but I'm glad I did it because I much prefer it in that corner. And I love these little wood veneers. I think they're so cute. But yeah, they're from Paper Mania. I got them from the range, and they come in loads of different styles. So I stick those down, and then I decide that I want to stamp the anchor on the side of the page where the polka dot paper is. But for some reason I stick it down wonky. I'll stamp it down wonky, and it really annoys me, but I can't do anything about it really. I was going to try and cover it up, but I just thought, oh, I'll just go with it. And then I stick some of these little buttons down, and I really like using buttons now. I went through a phase of buying loads of buttons and never using them, but I finally sort of enjoy using them now. I have to use double-sided sticky tape to get them to stick though. So I just cut down the bunting, and then I'm just going to put some of these little gems, some of the orange and blue gems, just on each of the smaller buntings, and then just all over the page basically. And I just feel like I'm never going to finish using these gems. They just go on forever. I used quite a few on each page, and they just don't ever seem to be running out. So yeah, so I just stick a few all around, and they're a nice little size. They're not too overpowering, but they just sort of finish off the clusters a little bit. And this is when I go back to the clear stickers and get the little seashells out, and I just stick 4 on the page. Not sure why I chose 4, but it's funny when you look back on these videos and think, why did I do that? And then I went off to photocopy the receipt that we got from our lunch that we had in Whitby. And I wanted to put it on the page, but it was really big and I didn't know what to do with it. So I cut it right down to literally just the food that we had. And then I kept the top part, which said the address and the name of the restaurant and stuff like that. Because obviously it's all good to know where you ate, what you ate, but it's good to also know where you ate as well. So I decided to stick that right next to it, and it was called the Willow Branch. And it just sort of reminds you where you ate, and you know, it's just always nice to remember those sort of things. So I stick them down and add some more gems just to fit with the page. And then that's pretty much it after I stick those gems down. So I hope you enjoy. Thank you. Bye.